Okay, hey everybody, so I thought I would actually, instead of just speeding through this, I would talk through it as I was going. Excuse me while I hitch up my bra strap, keeping it real on this channel all the time. So anyway, today I am super excited. As you can tell, I have the Morphe 25L Live in Colour palette. So this palette retails for £20 and all of the proceeds made from this go to a charity. Can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, because there's a couple of different palettes have different charities and now they're all kind of swimming around in my head. So there you go. It's proceeds. So it's not the full £20, it's whatever would be left after the cost of making, distributing and all that. So I'm not entirely sure what that fee would be. It'd be really great if Morphe would put that amount up. So kind of said, so proceeds are such and such per palette. Whether they'll actually release that information at some point, I don't know, but would be interesting to know. The packaging is really nice. On the outside, it's got this rainbow. This, however, has a mirror in the lid, which is quite interesting. Again, the rainbow continues there, and at the top it says make life colourful. Really nice little detail there, and it's nice that it has got a mirror. And those are the shades. But it's a mix of mattes and shimmers. I will do swatches at the end. This looks holographic up here, and we've got two sort of glittery shades, so you will see in the swatches the finish of those. I will swatch them over primer, but yes, it's a very exciting little colour range there. I think there's some nice shades. There's also some nice kind of sort of crease shades, so some soft peaches and corals, yeah, and some nice really dark shimmers, and it's nice to see some dark shades in there, as well as like, I'm really excited about this red. Because I am always on the hunt for the perfect red. So yes, that is very exciting. So let's stop talking about it and let's get into it. So I've already primed my eyes, and I have used the Revolution eyeshadow base, which I really love this eyeshadow base. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to grab my brushes. I keep them in this cup that I got from my daughter. It's got the Evil Queen, then Ursula, Maleficent, Queen of Hearts. It's a gorgeous cup, but I don't use it to drink out of, just in case it gets broken, and I like it to be on display in my makeup room so I can look at it every day while I'm doing my makeup. So there you go. I know, it's strange. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take that milk shade on a large flat sort of brush. I'm going to see what this is like to put all over the lid. So yeah, not great pigmentation there, but that's fine. Right, I'm thinking that we maybe should do, I want to do two different eyes. I know, it's wild. Okay. So I know that I want to use these two colours on the lid. So I think I'm going to go into the crease with this purple and possibly this magenta shade as well. So I think I'll lay down that magenta shade first. That is very nice. It's not as dark as I expected it to be. Okay. I mean, it's there. It's just... it's a little on the patchy side. Oh, a little bright there. Definitely got a little bit of fallout. Okay. And then we're going to go into the dark purple, matte purple. Wow, Fallout City. Yeah, this one's very powdery. Okay, with a little bit of layering, that's actually okay. I do think these are a little patchy. Interesting. Okay, well, for curiosity, I kind of just want to go straight into that shimmery colour to see how this one behaves. Okay, that's beautiful. Looks like it's going to be a really dark teal in the pan, but it's actually a lot brighter. So I'm wondering whether this darker blue is going to be the same. Okay, look at this though. This is just madness. That's when you wish that you had left your base till afterwards. I'm going to take a smaller sort of pencil brush. See whether that matte purple might behave a lot better with something a little denser. Yeah, I think that definitely... The other brush was dense, but it was larger, so this is definitely behaving a little bit better with a smaller pencil dense brush. I'm just going to take that bright pink, because what can we lose at this stage? Take that over the edges, blend out that purple. Yeah, this is me when I go, yeah, today I'm doing a natural look. 10 minutes later. I like that bright pink to blend that out. That bright pink blended beautifully. So I'm really, really impressed with that. I'm just going to take a little bit of that sort of mint colour, I think, as well. I'm just going to take that on a smaller brush. Yeah, I like that in the centre of the eye. I think I want to go for green underneath, so just going to clean off the pencil brush. I've got a cloth on my knee, just in case you're wondering. I think I should tidy enough underneath here, tidy that up and then pop some green under it. So I will do that and be right back. Okay, actually most of that did just brush away quite nicely, and then just put a little bit of concealer there. I do feel like I just want to go over that pink again. And then I do feel like I just quite like to go in with like a little bit of a smaller sort of brush. Yeah, something possibly this size. And go back in with that purple. And just deepen that up a little bit. That's definitely better on a denser brush. This is the one from Manny MUA's first palette. Life's a Drag. It's quite firm, quite dense. That shadow definitely responds better to that. Okay, that is okay. Once you get liner on there, I think that that will look a lot better also. I definitely think that that brush made a huge difference with that purple. Yeah, that's really nice. But I would like to just take my finger with that blue. And then with the other one. Okay, right, let's take a green. So, so far, this was right up in the crease, then this is on the outer part, then I've got this on the inner lid, that on the outer, that's in the crease, and that's in the centre of the lid. So I think that this, going into this, will be really nice on the bottom. So we'll start with the darker shade on the outer part of the eye. This is a beautiful colour. Yeah, that's a really nice colour. And then going in with a more bright sort of apple green. Oh, that's beautiful. And then that shade at the top, that really shimmery one, I think that'll look really nice on the inner eye. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's beautiful. That's so sparkly. Yeah, that's the only thing then now, is because that's got such a green reflect, there is kind of a white shimmer missing. But I suppose that's kind of, they've wanted to keep as much colour in this as they could. So I'm just going to pop some liner on that, because I think once you get liner on, it definitely makes it look a lot better. Okay, that's really nice. Now the other thing that I would normally do is I take something, I'm going to take this dense sort of fluffy brush, and then I usually like to take a pressed powder. I'm going to take white because I think a bit of vibrance would be quite nice. This is the Revolution Matte Base Powder. Just going to pop that on this brush and then just blend that around the edges. Because for me, I just think that that definitely helps diffuse out anything. It's not as sharp. And that looked like it was going to be a total disaster, but I absolutely love how that eye has turned out. So that's that one. So I'm going to use the coral, I think. We're going to go for a little bit of coral in the crease here. And to see how that goes first, because I'm really dying to try this colour. And I think this is a good opportunity to get as many colours on here as possible so you can see them in action. I'm not the best makeup artist, but it's not always about that. Sometimes it's just about seeing how they apply. That's really subtle. It hasn't got as much pigment as I thought it would have, but it's buildable. So I want to do an outer corner with that red. I want to pack it on first. See how she goes. It seems to have picked up quite a lot on the brush. Right, I know this is kind of just going all over the place, but I'm going to go into that really bright corally colour, like neon orange at the top. These colours, some of them, they go on and they're not pigmented and they're patchy and they blend to nothing. I feel like it takes quite a bit of work to get it on. I mean, there's no doubting that the colours are lovely once they are on. I just think that this is the kind of palette that you're going to need to do some work with to get it to work for you, for sure. And if you blend it, look at that. Just kind of blend it away, more or less. Well, let's go ahead and get this shimmery colour on the lid and see what we're going to do from there. It doesn't have a huge amount of pigmentation. I think this is the kind of shade that probably works better on the finger. You can't see it there though. Yeah. So that's the gold laid down. There's so much fallout too. And even though I put powder on, I've still ended up with it staining my face. But I think it's possibly because that powder is not great for that reason. This is giving me very sunrise oriental type vibes. I actually really like it, but I do feel like those colours diffuse very quickly. So I do feel like if you did want to get them really vibrant, you'd have to layer and layer and layer. Because I'm going to go back in with that red a little bit more here. I mean, layering it is not a problem. It does seem to pack on quite nicely and layer together nicely. I'm not having any problems with that. As you can see, it's building nicely. Like I said, I just think that this is a palette that you're just going to need to be patient with. Actually, quite nice. Not as blinding as this one in the ABH palette, but nice. And then I want to take the yellow, and I think the chartreuse underneath, so we're going to go with yellow here. It's had a bit of a nice mix with the red there. Okay. I don't think they look cohesive at all, but that's okay. Pop some liner on. That is what we've got. That is interesting. I'm going to pop some mascara on. I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Oh, sample from a magazine. This is how many brushes I went through. Ridiculous, I would never normally use that many, but it was just kind of, I've got my favourites that I use to do certain jobs, and some of them just didn't seem to be really doing it, so I had to go through a number of different brushes, including this one here. So yes, definitely think it just takes a little getting used to. Just going to pop on a spray and dry that out. But that's the finished look, so let's get on to the swatches and what I think overall. So that's it, that is the look complete. Two different eyes. Kind of was going to go for like a rainbow, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet on this eye, but it kind of just ended up morphing into something else, but kind of rainbow. It's just that the intensity of these shadows is not the same as the intensity of these, so it just looks a bit unbalanced, so please bear with me. It was really just about kind of showing them in action, seeing how they worked, and you getting to see that. No, I'm not Nikki Tutorials, no, I don't pretend to be a makeup artist. Anybody who wants to leave negative comments, please stop. Blah, 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 blah. It really annoys me, because I don't sit here and pretend to be a makeup artist. I never said that I was the best at makeup. I've never said it. I just want to enjoy it. I'm really sorry, but I do just get quite, yes, I just get, I don't know. It's frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating. This is an amazing palette. I mean, it is beautifully colourful. There's not many shades in there that don't perform well. Even that kind of very shimmery lilac on the top actually performs quite nicely. The glitter shades do need a little bit more work. The mattes, I would say the warmer shade mattes, which are over in this area, which is what I used on this eye, they definitely seem a little bit patchy when you put them on. They need a lot of building. They do blend away very easily, so you very much need to layer them. A little disappointing because this red is beautiful, but that red definitely needs layering. I mean, it's a true beautiful scarlet red. Sometimes reds can have too much of a pink base, or they can be too like sort of tomatoey because they've got too much orange to them. This is just a really nice true primary red, so it is beautiful. Pinks in here are nice, but I definitely prefer this eye and how that came out. But as you did see, it was very patchy when it went on. The shades weren't quite as expected when applied with the brush, but I did get there, and I do really like that look on the eye. I mean, I would wear that look again because I love it so much, and those greens underneath are beautiful. I cannot wait to do a look with just the greens in here. I think that like the bottom two rows just so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, this is an inner eye corner. That's what I've got on here. I'm obsessed with that. That is just stunning. I think that it is a beautiful palette. I think that the foils are really nice. That's what I've got here. A little bit on here. Like the glitter topper is nice. Quite sparse, so you do have to kind of layer that. Using it with water would probably help somewhat. I don't think it's a bad palette. Is it the best colourful palette that's out there? I have to say no, to be honest, just because I do think that you do have to put an incredible amount of work in with the matte shades, or some of them, because, well, anything from here up, These greens seem to go on beautifully. I didn't use any of the other mattes from the bottom, but anything in the top 3 rows, the mattes just seemed just so difficult to work with. And I do think that if you've got time, you can get a really nice look. I mean, it has worked out fairly well on this eye for me, just because it's kind of created it colourful but a bit more muted, because it's kind of blended out really nicely. I've got a lot of intensity on this eye, which with gradual use and more denser brushes, I think that's really kind of the key, is using small dense brushes to kind of pack and pack and pack and just very gently blend and continue to pack. So it's about layering, packing, being very patient when you use these shadows. But I do think that I've created 2 really nice looks here. It's not a cohesive rainbow look that I'd intended to go for, but for me today it was really very much just about trying lots of different colours from this palette, just because I was really excited to try them. I think it's a beautiful palette and I'm really excited to have it in my collection. I'm really glad to support something where 100% of the proceeds are going towards a charity, and I think that's excellent. I've not seen a brand do that before, so that's absolutely wonderful, and I do think it's worth it. It's £20. That's actually really good value, and yes, it's a really nice palette, but like I said, it's not without its issues. So that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and leave a comment below. I don't get a lot of engagement on my videos. I don't get a lot of views on my videos. I really don't know how to improve that. But if you can share my video, and hopefully I can get some new people coming across, because I really just love talking to people, sharing my passions and just being able to interact with people. So that's it. So yes, until the next video, guys, I'll see you later. Bye. Hi everybody. Take 2. I didn't just want to leave how I'd reviewed this palette at that, because I'm not somebody who would go strictly off first impressions. So I like to use some things a few times, and often on my channel I will give you first impressions, like I did Alyssa Edwards. It was amazing. But if things don't work out quite so wonderfully first effort, then I want to start kind of making videos where if it doesn't go so well, then you'll get a take 2 of it and it'll be in the same video. It's not just going to be a separate video, because I want you to know how I feel about it. So I had a think about this palette, and I personally think that perhaps the shadows didn't like being on top of this white shade. I don't know if that is the case, but I did try it the other night. At the end of the day, just straight on top of the eye look that I had on, and the red went on so beautifully, so pigmented, didn't blend away. The orange still was not great. It did blend away at the edges and you couldn't really see it, but I just want to give it another shot. Now please excuse the appearance. I literally have on brows and some tinted moisturiser. I just very quickly wanted to come on camera and give this a go. So I'm just gonna, I've put on an eye base. I have just used the Revolution one, but I put nothing else on my eye. So it's just going straight on top of the base, and I just want to see how that works, and I just want to plop this down in the crease and see how we go. Now as you can see there, that's actually gone on so pigmented and vibrant. It does have a pink base, because you can see at the edges where it's a little pink. That's fine. But it is blending out so nice actually. It doesn't appear to be too patchy. I thought we were going to get a little patchiness in the centre, but that is not too bad. Now that is so much better than the other day, and I think this is literally because it's not on top of that white shade. Packing a little more colour on, you can see that it's building super nice there. Yes, really impressed with that now on that second go. Take a bit of the orange now, but I'm going to do that on a cleaner brush. The orange is really not too vibrant, so I think with this it's just a case of layering it. You can see, just packing it on in small amounts there, rather than trying to blend it back and forth. That has definitely worked a lot better today. You can see that a lot better. So I would wear these 2 eye colours together, but I did that. That was my accident. I'm really just kind of showing you really how pigmented these colours actually are, because I just felt they were better than that first attempt, and I did want to quickly come on here and give it another go. I mean, look at that red. That red is insane. Now, I don't think, excuse that it's not the tidiest, this literally is not a look. I'm not going anywhere. This is just to say, hey, look at that. You know, I didn't think the first use of it was really a reflection of how good it is. So that's what this is about. What I do want to do, I'm just going to put a bit of this cut crease stuff on from Revolution, because I want to put one of those glittery colours on. I just feel like a little bit of a base would be really helpful for it. So let's try that and see how that goes. So I'm just going to dry that off quickly. I think what I want to do is just pat a little bit of colour on there and then put the gold on top. So we're actually just going to do the yellow. And then I'm just going to take the gold and put it on top. So first we're going to give it a go with a brush. It doesn't seem to pick up very much on a brush, to be fair. I think this is definitely one you need to use for your fingers, but I'm always very concerned that your oils kind of ruin these shades and then you have to scratch the surface off and it's such a waste. So I'm just going to spray that with a little bit of just face mist and then just press that on. That's really nice. And then because I don't like putting wet brushes in pans, I'm just going to do the other side of the brush. I do feel like you'll go through these shimmer shades in here very quickly, just because they are, you know, you just have to press so far into them. Definitely love the performance of that with the brush dampened. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so really, really impressed with that. I'm just going to take a very small brush and just probably run the red underneath. I'm going to use that other glitter topper shade on a smaller brush. They just don't pick up much. But that's fine. That is much better. You can totally see that that orange, when you pack it on and just press it in smaller amounts and just lightly blend each section, you definitely got more vibrancy, and the red is just an amazing colour. So I'm really, really impressed with that. I'm going to take some of this yellow from NYX, put it in the waterline. And then on the upper lash line I'm going to use black because it's just my go-to thing. I will pop some mascara on, as mad as this is, because it's just one eye and it's really just a tester. But I do think that overall that has turned out really, really nice. You can totally see, which is what I was intending, that these colours are actually very vibrant. I just don't think they like the white colour to work on top of. Not at all. So really, really impressed with that. No, it's not the neatest looking eye. It's not about that. This was about me going, right, these haven't performed, let's have another go. So I do really like how vibrant everything's turned out, so I'm really, really impressed. I will very quickly on the other eye just use that purple, because that purple was really patchy too. I hadn't intended to do this, but I'm here, so I might as well. Which is that amazing one there. It's gorgeous. There's lots of powder on this palette. And just pack it on. Yeah, I mean, it is messy. It can't be helped. When you like packing it on like this, you're gonna get loose particles. This one does just kind of spray around, and just packing on like that though, and just pressing it in and then blending it definitely has produced less fallout under the eyes, as you can see though, so that's really good. It just looks like where I'm blending out, some of it is travelling across. The colour though has gone on really nice, really deeply pigmented. You can see that that's really lovely, not patchy at all. So really actually impressed with that one. And then with using the same brush, I'm just going to go ahead, and it was this one here that I used on the outer edges of that. So I just want to do that again. Much better. You can see the colour straight away. It's not blending into the other one. I don't know if it's just because I'm taking shorter movements also. Not applying quite as much pressure, so I'm not pressing it and blending it away too much. But you can definitely see that that is performing so much better than the beginning of this video. I'd work more on blending it, and I'd obviously refine that shape, and it's gone higher than I normally would. But again, this is me, just I want to test these colours out. I want to see how they work. I want to make sure that these can work, basically. And then I'm going to take this shimmery green, because I've tried the glitters. Now how about going for a shimmer on the lid? Because I did use the foily sort of shimmer shades on the other eye, and they work beautifully. So I'm going to do that with this one. I'm going to take a little bit of that cut crease again. Not too much. Just because I feel I really need something for it, not just to stick to, but just... It's going to go straight on top of that purple, and I kind of don't want that. I just feel like that might affect the colour. Looks promising on the brush. Ooh. It's not super shiny. You can definitely see that it's got some sheen to it. I wouldn't say it's super foiled or anything, but you can see the shimmer. It's really nice. Now, blending out the edges there, I think again it would be better just to kind of stamp that on, because it has blended out some of that shimmer a little bit. And then I'm just going to pop a bit of the purple under the eye. I know you probably noticed I do go quite low with that. I like it. I'm going to use a green in the waterline. I really like that. Let's get a black liner on the upper. This, I love green and purple together. It gives me total Disney villain vibes. Okay, so that's it. We do have some fallout there. I haven't bothered to make a massive job of cleaning that up. I'm not going anywhere. This was about testing the colours. But I do think that you can see that those actually have blended so nice. Yeah, that's much better. So I just think that on top of that white, they didn't perform too well. They didn't seem to like it. They like to perform straight on top of the primer. So again, I would go straight on top of the primer again. I have noticed that with the foils or the shimmers, it's great to use it with a wet brush, because they do move about a bit once you've started to do other blending, if you wanted to blend the edges out. Not mad at it, because I actually think that, you know, it looks quite nice. You can see the vibrancy of the colours there, so it's more about stamping it on in small amounts, keep packing it and then blending, and you do get better job with those colours. You can see the vibrancy on there. That red is beautiful, and yeah, that foil worked better with a wet brush. So that's it, take two. Definitely feeling a lot better about it now. I definitely feel that that has worked beautifully. I do still feel that they're very powdery. You can kind of see here, it's quite messy. And they do take some work. You've got to pack them before you blend them. But I do think it's worth it, because I do think that that's a really lovely eye look. But I do feel that overall, when you look at it, if you put a little bit of time in, go straight on top of the primer, then I do think that you can get a beautiful, very strongly pigmented eye look out of it. So that is it, guys. I just wanted to add that bit at the end of the video. Really hope this review I was going to say referral. I really hope this review has been really helpful for you. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe as always, and I will see you in the next one.